While it's not a perfect scenario for the Red River Showdown, Texas still has the Sooners' attention. Thanks, Micah, and the OU women's soccer team topped off a tough weekend with a 2-1 loss against Baylor at home on Sunday. I'm Ashley Davis, and this is a look at OU Nightly Sports. Former Sooner Adrian Peterson avoided jail time today when he pleaded no contest to 1 count of misdemeanor reckless assault. The city of Norman has received a lot of pushback due to the rising number of evictions this year. The city council hopes to come up with a compromise solution early next year. Ashley Davis, OU Nightly. Come out tomorrow to the McCaslin Fieldhouse and support your Sooners against TCU. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio, Micah. Woodard sells her necklaces through her social media accounts along with supplying stores in several states. Once she graduates from OU, she plans to take her business to the next level. Ashley Davis, OU Nightly. The committee choosing the final 4 teams for this year's college football playoff almost got a break last night. Florida State nearly took itself out of the running before rallying to beat Louisville on the road.
And we will get ½ inch to 1 inch of rain, and then we clear out for Wednesday. Back to you, Hermione.
Thanks, Harry, and welcome back to Big Friday Sports.
We still have a lot of sports to talk about. Taylor, what are we kicking off with?
Well, there have been a couple of scary injuries on OU's football team this season, but this weekend the Sooners should be back on the field in full force. Here's Drew Farley.
I'm 100% now, and I didn't really skip all that much. Just kind of, at this time of the year, everyone kind of gets bumped up a little bit, and so take a day or two off. It was good.
Trevor Knight didn't practice last week, but he's back to lead the Sooners into Ames. Also returning is running back Keith Ford, but his playing time has yet to be determined. So with the offense looking more like it did at the beginning of the season, there seems to be reason to believe that a more finished product will be taking the field against Iowa State this week.
Keith's a guy that showed early on he can make some big plays and and can help that way. He is really good out of the backfield, definitely.
We've used some of those guys as receivers out of the backfield and some of our bubble stuff, and then obviously in third down situations in particular, those guys are going to have to be a part of what you're doing if they're not bringing any pressure and they're not having to be involved in the blitz pickup. But, early in the year you saw him be explosive with the ball in his hands, and certainly, we need that.
He looked like the T Knight from the Sugar Bowl. I mean, we completed more passes than we did all season, so that's just good to see him back into rhythm. And one thing about Trevor, he don't let nothing just stay in the back of his head. He shake it off and he move on to the next play, and he started just finding guys downfield, and we got the offense going.
We wanted to continue to press forward, and we had a lot of guys that don't play a lot that got a lot of work last week. We had some guys that have been playing a lot that were a little nicked up, but I think it was pretty typical off week by week. We wanted to concentrate on some areas that we haven't been as strong in and really focus in on those.
Drew Farley, Big Friday Sports.
And the baseball team had some Halloween fun last night, fundraising for a great cause. Throughout the 2nd annual ALS game, student athletes interacted with fans and kids in the crowd. But the surprise guest Toby Keith shocked the fans when he threw out the first pitch. The event raised money and awareness to fight ALS, and the players did a great job at getting into the spirit of the game. Fall ball continues next Friday as the Sooners host Trinity at 6 p.m. Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. Be sure to watch us on Monday for a look back at the weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Good night. I'm Ashley Davis, and this is a look at OU Nightly Sports. Former Sooner Adrian Peterson avoided jail time today when he pleaded no contest to 1 count of misdemeanor reckless assault. Peterson will be placed on probation facing a $4,000 fine and 80 hours of community service. The Vikings running back said he is just glad it's finally over. And last weekend, the Sooners racked up 751 total yards in offense against Iowa State, the 4th most yards in a game in program history. And Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week Trevor Knight had a good game through the air but an even better game on the ground, leading his team with 146 rushing yards. The offense will look to put the same kind of pressure on a high-powered Baylor defense this weekend.
We're still not executing in third and short the way that we need to, and you think back to a year ago, there's a couple critical situations that they stopped us on that were a big part of the early part of that football game and the momentum, and so we gotta be better in those situations.
Richardson was really throwing the ball well, and we really covered people up, got great pressure. So, it'll not only be the secondary, it'll be backers, it'll be pressure, it'll be all of it together. But I feel like we're in good shape coming into the game.
And November 1st was supposed to be the day Joe Mixon's assault video was released to the public. It's November 4th and there's still no video. After submitting a plea deal last week, the city of Norman decided not to release the video, claiming it's no longer needed. The Oklahoma Association of Broadcasters filed a lawsuit on behalf of the media to get the video released to the public. In the NBA, the Thunder had a big crowd on hand in Brooklyn last night, including Beyonce and Jay-Z. Reggie Jackson made his season debut after nursing an ankle injury the first 3 games and scoring 23 points. Unfortunately for the Thunder, most of the game looked like this. They fell to the Nets by 31 points, giving them a 1-3 record for the season. That's not even the worst part, though, because Andre Robertson sprained his foot. This left the Thunder with only 8 players left to finish out the game. Coach Scott Brooks was in a loss for words over the injuries.
I don't really know what to say other than it's unfortunate. We're at another injury. He's going to be out tomorrow, and we're evaluating Friday. That's just how things are going right now. But we're not throwing the white flag. We're going to keep battling. We're going to keep trying to improve the group together. And tomorrow, I expect our guys to come back much better and not worried about who's playing or who's not playing. We just have to play better.
That's a look at OU Nightly Sports. Doug, Madeline?
Yeah, certainly a bad loss for the Thunder.
It was pretty upsetting.
Yeah, and still to come tonight, we'll have another look at that 5-day forecast.
Plus a couple takes to the sky to tie the knot straight ahead on OU Nightly.